Hi guys, it's Club King returning. Welcome back to my channel for a long awaited video that today has been kindly sponsored by the guys at Unreal Customs. I'd like to start off by saying a massive thank you to Lucky himself, the guy at Unreal Customs who agreed to send me this cape so I can fit it to my Batman, give you guys my honest opinion, tell you if I think it's worth the money, does it improve the figure as a whole, and give you the contact details if you do choose to purchase this yourselves. Also, I'd just like to say, I am now filming on an iPad Pro, which does film in 4K. I will upload it in 4K, so if you can leave a comment just saying what you think of the video quality and the audio quality if you would, just so I know if I were to do any future videos, am I better off using this or is it better if I go back to the camcorder? From the viewfinder I would say this, but like I say, it's your guys' opinion that matters. So cracking on, let's talk about the figure as a whole. When I reviewed the figure, it reviewed really well. The head sculpt scored high. I think the packaging did, the extras, accessories, outfit, everything was really good about it. The things I really liked, obviously, was the really accurate head sculpt. The outfit was amazing, and I still think that is the case. The fact that they used the padded section sort of in the upper torso to give the muscle definition was a really good touch. It is slightly hindered articulation-wise, but I do like the fact that it still has strong joints and will hold a pose. Although that's the case, I do prefer it in a museum style pose, as you see. I think I did some poses that did look really good, but I always find that it looks at its most menacing when it's straight up and down, particularly when you've got it stood at side of your BvS version of Superman. So that is when the figure looks best to me. You might also remember I did a lot of modding on this figure. Just really, the most of it was sort of gluing the sleeves in place to take the creases out the elbow, which on this arm you can see still applies, although that one's slightly twisted so the crease does go back in. I brought the suit down so the bat ears weren't tucked behind the cowl. As you see, that's still the case with mine. I did change the pouches on the belt, as you see. I did warm the suit and push the trousers as high up as I could get, and obviously with the aid of the stand, that's still the case now. One thing I didn't change, or I didn't swap, was the cape. Reason for being where I thought that although it didn't hang right, I thought the scale was pretty accurate and how it sat around the cowl, so I was always kind of okay with it. I thought it was a little bit too long, although I did trim mine down, you might remember. I've also took the sides off of mine, which I've never shown on video, and also I've took a lot of the wire out that goes over the shoulder. Although I removed the wire, it still looks like it's got a kink sort of behind the shoulder section, as you can see. That won't seem to go out. The cape's been wet a few times. When it's wet, it does hang really nicely because there's the weight of the water in the cape. But when it dries, it always sits sort of wrong. Now, a few months ago, maybe 6 months, 7 months, I was sort of in two minds whether to get this cape. Then I think one was offered to me and I actually declined it and suggested the cape be sent to another reviewer. Whether that was the case, I don't know, but I thought I don't want to take this cape because it's not a must-do mod for me at this point, and also I were already planning then to not do any more YouTube videos, so I kind of turned the cape down. I've recently had a re-clean and a repose, and I thought this cape, I'm going to make another few changes on it, and if it doesn't look how I want it to look, then I am going to go for the Unreal Custom cape. So that is what I decided to do. I spoke to Lucky via Facebook, he agreed to send me one, and obviously I promised I would put a video out to give my honest thoughts. So that is how this video's come about. Now, just to show you, obviously this is the stock cape that's still on. I've tried pretty much everything with it. I've always posed it sort of folded at the back to take sort of, or bring the weight together. As you see, it's got an hairpin at the back to hold it in place, but it never seems to hang right. It's a little bit too stiff and the length seems all wrong to me. Whether you guys think the same, I don't know, but that is pretty much why I don't like it. And like I said, the unsightly part, kind of behind the shoulders, it doesn't sit close enough to his body for me. It doesn't look realistic enough. I know this hinders it as well, the fact that I use the pole which keeps the trousers up, so it doesn't drape around that. Now the cape that I've been sent and received today, like I said, is the Unreal Custom cape today. It's the unwired one, and I will say, just by touching it, you feel the quality straight away, the weight, how it moves. You're pretty much getting this generation's Tony May cape. That is what I'm thinking. Now, I hope it looks as good once it's on the figure as it looks off the figure, but that's what this video is about. I'm going to strip this cape off. I'm going to apply this one. I'm probably going to do it first where it will still be removable, but I think if I get it looking as good as I hope to, I am going to make it permanent by gluing it to the inside of the cowl. Right, so removing the head. Just take that off. And I will show you first that when the modifications on mine, I actually trimmed these sections down, the sides there. So my cowl isn't as wide as it were stock. So I did that to sort of, because then I glued the stock cape in place there. So mine won't move about. So mine's actually attached there, there, and at the back where it were originally attached. Now I'm going to warm this up. I'm going to peel this cape out altogether, and then I'm going to try the Unreal Custom cape. Right, just a little tip, as I've shown before, because of the glue underneath there, best way to get glue off I find, red hot water, that's just boiled, just dip it into there, it'll soften the glue. It don't matter about cape because I'm taking it off anyway, it won't affect the rubber, in fact it'll probably make the rubber cowl fit better on his shoulders. Like I say, so all we're doing is softening the glue, which is on the tip, that corner, that'll peel off, and then I'll peel off the glue that's in there. Get in there, Batman. Right, so I've got the stock cape off. Like I said, I glued mine in place on the shoulders, so that is where the glue were. Obviously, that doesn't really matter because that'll still be back underneath the cape, and then obviously it was glued inside, so that is where it's peeled off. Like I said, just a bit of warm water, and it does come off pretty easily. So, got the cowl off, and I've just placed the cape over the body. Now, as you see at the top, there's a slit that goes sort of where the neck peg is there, and then I'm going to just drop that on. As you can see, a couple of things strike you. Firstly, how nicely it falls. Secondly, how long it is, way too long. Then next, the material. As you can see, as the light catches it, it does have a nice sort of grained leather effect, but like I say, it's very lightweight, moves really nicely. You can see I'm hardly touching that, so I know it's going to drape really well. It's just going to be a matter of getting it to the length that I personally want. I don't have to leave it slightly over lengthed, if that's even a real word, or over the length that would be accurate, just so that I can get some movement in it when it's posed. Or do I cut it down and make it movie accurate? I'm not sure. Also, I'm guessing when the cowl's in place, folding it back over his shoulder again, I'm going to need to make that as accurate as I can. So I'll go off camera, I'll get it positioned up, just start sort of futzing about with it a little bit, and I'll get you some image once that's done. Right, so with the cowl back on, that's kind of the 89 style cape, where it comes more down his front than over his shoulder. So it is a nice look, but obviously because the cowl's not really like that on this one, it doesn't look movie accurate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of move these sections back. So to roughly do it, I'm thinking I'm going to have to put a fold somewhere there. See, the front section as well, I will show you in a minute, is kind of lined, so it does fold back on itself. That is the front edge. I'm getting the fucking camera in shot, that would be a good idea. The front edge, as you see, it's folded back on itself, so it is the same fabric on the inside as the out. That's just so I think when it folds back, it does still look really accurate. It's hard to do this, particularly because this iPad as well is a 12.9 version, so it's a bit cumbersome trying to film with it with my left hand while I'm positioning the cape around. So I'll go off camera, I'll start positioning it, see what I can do with it. Right, so that's it, fully fitted. I have glued mine on the inside of the cowl, just towards the front to hold the central part in place, and then fold it back, and then you fold it back on itself. It's hard to display. I've tried to film it about 5 or 6 times and I just can't show how the fold goes, but I mean, you can pretty much see it anyway. Just position it. The folds do hold in place really nicely, so it's not hard, it's just hard to film it and do it. I did cut the cape down slightly, but I wanted it to still touch the ground because it's the ground then that holds the swags in position. So if I look at that, I could cut it down more. Like I say, I like the twist through the cape, as you can see there. Like so. I just roughly cut along the edge, probably took an inch, maybe 2 inches off. So yeah, really good looking cape, lays nicely, falls nicely, even wrapped around the base pole, as you can see. That gives a really good look. So again, massive thank you to Lucky from Unreal Customs. If you do want to pick this cape up, get in touch with him via Facebook. He'll give you the price. Obviously the shipping's a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks, depending if it's in stock or if he's trying out new materials. But I think it does give a good looking Batman figure, as you can see, pretty beastly. I'm happy to have got that stock cape off because it was the only thing holding this figure back, like I said at the beginning. So now I think it's pretty perfect. One of Hot Toys best, definitely, and a joy to having the collection. Thanks guys for sticking with me. Thanks for watching this video. But for now, I'm out of here.